Hello everybody and welcome back to another Discussing Resilient Podcast live event recap. And yeah, today we've got another event to go through. Obviously, as mentioned in the previous podcast, we did manage to take this list that we'll go through in a second to a local RTT and managed to bring on first place with it. It wasn't a perfect score, it wasn't 300 points, but 3 solid victories. And yeah, it was a very different play style as we're going to get into and sort of go through. But yeah, if you're new here, hi, welcome. Feel free to hit like and subscribe. But we are going to go through every single game, every single little play. Obviously, there's a bit of memory is required here, so I'll do my best to remember as accurate as possible. But thankfully, we do have our little tabletop battles app to help remind me of it turn-by-turn secondaries and things like that. So as we'll look at the list in a second, if you are interested in the list, obviously it's a great place to sort of see how it plays on the table and get a rough idea for it. And yeah, we'll go from there. Now, I will say in chat, we are obviously going to try and use the stream layout, but if you are watching it and you're struggling to see each like sort of play-by-play, I can change it so we just have the screen and me in the corner and get rid of all the stream overlay. So just let me know on feedback in the corner if that is something you want to see. But yeah, good to see everyone that's in the chat already. Got Mez, JV Rug, Nurgle Matthew Hipster, Mike Wade, big Nurgle fan. I'm a big Nurgle fan too. Chukanari, Nurgle Joe, Class Lorans, Havelock, Oliver, and Phil. So yeah, let's jump straight into it. So, what was the list we were playing? So this is the list. It is Virulent Vectorium. So this is the detachment where you get sticky objectives by naturally. Also is a detachment that gives you access to the -1 damage stratagem, which was, you see, was quite important. And overall, it's very just a straight up just solid detachment. Has a bit of everything. Doesn't really lean too heavily in one direction. It's just a nice sort of all-rounder. Now, in this list, we do have the big man himself, Mortarion. Now, Mortarion is not a model I've actually played with too much this edition. Anyone that knows me knows I'm not really about very expensive centerpiece models. I'm much more of an MSU, which stands for minimum sized units or multiple small units. And I like to run like 5-man Plague Marines, things like that, and try and outvalue and outtrade my opponent. But given that we run this channel and that we like to obviously speak about things that we've actually played rather than just bullshitting it and making it up on the spot. Sorry, YouTube, hope that's over a minute. I wanted to try something different. So again, it's not really my list style, won't lie, but it was actually quite fun, and it's always good to try new things. And again, I don't want to just sit here and play the same list the entire year. So I've played tons and tons of different lists of every detachment. Again, check out the other event recaps if you're interested in those. So yeah, we put the big man on the table, which is awesome. Good to see the big man. He's also joined by his son, Mini Mortarion. This is the Demon Prince of Nurgle with Revolting Regeneration Enhancement. This gives him a 5-up Feel No Pain. So now we have 2 Toughness 12 models with 2-up Save, a 4-up Invulnerable, and a 5-up Feel No Pain. The Demon Prince also giving out that 3 stratagem a turn. And let's not forget, Mortarion does have his 3 abilities for the reactive move, which is going to see is very important. Fight on Death, and the ability to shoot back, which don't actually come up at all in these games. It's very hard to get the shoot on back to get it sort of where you want it, where you want the value. Mostly you're going to be using the reactive move, as you'll see. Also got a Tallyman, because again, we really need CP in this attachment, and we need something to hold home. And this is a very elite list, as you'll see. We've got Biologist, Putrefy, and Malignant Plaguecaster, which of course means we've got 10 Plague Marine brick. So we've got 1 brick of Plague Marines with 3 Plasma Guns, Power Fist and the Sergeant, 2 Blight Launchers, 2 Spewers, 3 heavy plague weapons, so all of the special weapons that we can take inside this squad. Then we've got a big brick of Blightlord Terminators with 2 Spewers, 2 Reapers, 2 Blight Launchers, the rest Bolters, and obviously biotic weapons. So we've got 1 huge expensive model in Mortarion, a second fairly expensive model in the Demon Prince, 2 massively expensive bricks of units in Plague Marines and Blightlord Terminators. And then we've got to basically, you know, try and fill in the rest of the list. So we have 2 squads of 2 Chaos Spawn here. Again, really good for sort of scoring and doing objectives and winning so like secondary game and trading. Although we're not going to do much trading, I won't lie. We don't have much to trade. Then we've got a single squad of Poxwalkers because Infiltrate and Sticky is still really good to have. Plus, you kind of need some screens every so often. Definitely not foreshadowing anything there. Definitely not. Chaos Rhino to carry on our Plague Marines in, and obviously this means we can do the trick where we can reactive move within to 3 inches of the Rhino and re-embark with our Plague Marines with more time, which is really nice. And of course, a classic, we need some guns in here, so we have 3 heavy Blight Launch drones in the back. I would love an LOV fill, but this list is already really low on units, and I really couldn't afford that extra 100 points. Now, the good thing is, in Virulent Vectorium, I can obviously have the 1 command point stratagem to get 4 rolls to hit and wound on demand when I want it for that squad. But there are instances that you'll see where it'll come up where I have the Plague Marines and the Blight Lords out, and obviously you can only use that stratagem in one place. So at times that I wish I had an LOV, but the points just do not allow it in this list. It is already super spread thin because you've got so many expensive units. If you're really into elite armies, this is a really cool way to play Death Guard. And also, like, if I'm not wrong, this isn't like a super expensive way to get into Death Guard. The spawn are a bit annoying to get, but the rest of it is like kind of standard. Like Morty is like big model, Demon Prince big model, big brick of 10 Plague Marines, big centerpiece, Blight Lords big centerpiece. And that's like 90% of the army right there. The rest of it's just bits and bobs to go around it. So yeah, a very different playstyle, very elite, very top heavy, as you could say. So 4 massive bricks of expensive units, and then supporting that with some scoring pieces, 3 heavy Blight Lance drones for some shooting, and that's about all she wrote. So we're not working on much here, but we're going to try and make it work the best we can. So first up, and again, if this is gets too small for you guys and we need to make it full screen, please just let me know. So again, first up, Mr. Kevin Gaskell, lovely opponent, absolute legend. He gave me a little 3D printed Nurgling holding an axe, which is awesome. I really appreciate it. I still have it, and I used it all event to be my 3 Demon Prince strat. So I'm going to paint it up as well, and that's going to go to all my events for me and be my little reminder that I've got a 3 Demon Prince strat. And also for my opponent, because it's always, I like to have tokens there just to remind my opponent, hey, I've still got the stratagem. You can see it, I can see it, which is really nice, because sometimes I've been against opponents who don't track it, and then we're like, have you used that already? And he's like, I don't know, have I used it already? I'm like, I thought you did. And he's like, I don't know if I did. And then like, I look back afterwards, after the game, and I'm like, yeah, that dude got a free strat when he shouldn't have. So always make sure you've got tokens for your things. So really appreciate that. Normally use just a little Nurgle symbol on a token, but now I have a proper little Nurgling, which is awesome. So yeah, Kevin was running a demonic incursion. This is the sort of standard index demons detachment. This is going to be having 4 giant demons in here. So we've got Kairos Fateweaver. This is the guy that is currently I think he's got indirect built into him, which is again pretty damn scary at the moment. So, you know, indirect is not exactly what I want to fight against. He's just got a bunch of shooting, you know, damage 3 flat shooting on him, which obviously the Blight Lords don't like, same as the Lord of Change here. A lot of damage flat 3 shooting. Kairos can also generate some CP as well. So for demons, actually, to have like 2 chickens here is a lot of shooting for demons. So I have to kind of respect that a bit. Again, I don't have much units. If I get caught my pants down and those 2 chickens line up on the Blight Lords, I could lose half that squad quite easily if I don't have -1 damage up. So gotta be careful of that. We've got Scarbrand here. Now, Scarbrand, obviously the absolute melee menace that he is. Don't want him to connect to any of our expensive units if possible. Sometimes we might have to sacrifice something to get him out, but we'll have to see how that goes. And obviously Bellico here to give them all lone operative, well, lone up 18, so I ain't going to be shooting them from across the board with no blight drones. Back in this up, we've got a Nurgling jail, 2 squads of 6 Nurglings. I can't say anything, I did it to people in Taliban. 1 single squad of 3 Nurglings, a squad of 10 Plague Bearers, some sticky objective play, 2 squads of 1 Beast of Nurgle, 2 squads of 3 Screamers of Tzeentch, very fast, sort of just chargy. Anti-vehicle anti-monster, weirdly, 4 up on him, which is pretty cute. And then a big squad of Flamers of Tzeentch as well. So these Flamers obviously going to be nasty on Overwatch, things like that, which is really cool. So, a cool demonic incursion list, and again, absolutely thank you so much to Kevin for the amazing little Nurgling to give me. Let's get into it. So again, just let me know if this is too small for you guys in screen. I will full screen it. Just let me know. So, round 1, we're playing Terraform. Now, this is actually a unique terrain format. It is Lords of War, which is a fantastic event organised by the way. I really enjoy Lords of War terrains. It's based around where I live, up in Boltonish way. I obviously don't live in Bolton, but I have a car now, so it's a decent drive. But this was actually at Element Games. It was hosted by Lords of War. Now, they have their own terrain format, and it's a little bit of a hybrid between a bit of GW and a bit of UKTC. So it has the core of UKTC with the big central ruins and the L's, but it does add in the GW effect of making sure that every single ruin has a Perspex base, which I really enjoy. I think Perspex bases are very, very important and much easier to define line of sights with. They've also got these 2 big long ruins on the side here as well, and I enjoy this. I enjoy this terrain format genuinely quite a bit. I always enjoy playing on it. So yeah, this is the terrain that we are playing on. So, we obviously start deploying. My opponent does, unfortunately, get the first drop, which means instantly we're going to have these Nurglings come in. I'm just going to quickly sort this. Sorry, 1 second. I forgot to put the terrain behind all the tokens. Sorted. There we go. Happy days, go away. And go away. There we go. Cool. So, he gets the Nurglings instantly, and he's going to drop them right basically in front, 9 inches away from the lines. And the smart thing to do here is do exactly what I would do in Taliban and basically looking to block. He's just looking to block some terrain, which is a bit annoying. But you know, it is what it is. Unfortunately, we don't have too much capability to sort of deal with that. However, doing this does mean that I am then able to go and put my Poxwalkers over on the right. Now, I would actually really love to have Poxwalkers on the backfield to screen out. But the main thing here is that we have to remember that this is Terraform. So a turn 1 Terraform is going to be really important. Also, if I get first turn, I can then just run into along the wall here, which means that if he wants to come and deal with these, you know, Screamers each aren't going to get through them. The Flamers will, but they're off the board. Oh, sorry, these are in reserves, and the Scarbrand is in reserves as well for him. I just have the Blight Lords in reserves. That's it every single game. It means if the chickens want to come down the side, I can obviously shoot them back with some bloat drones. And again, the chickens would have to come to somewhere like here to get line of sight. So I'm quite happy to just deploy there and try and get a turn 1 sticky into a turn 1 Terraform, which would be really nice for me. So opponent just starts dropping stuff. I'm just going to speed up a bit now. So we've got Bellacore at the back over here with another chicken over here. We have another chicken back here. So the chickens are all playing fairly safe. Again, none of these chickens can be shot because of the 18-inch loan up that he gives. Let's go some super chats. Thank you very much, Matt Roberts. Morty is the boy. Congrats on the field. Thank you so much. You'll see Morty does do a lot of work in these 3 games. I'm not going to lie. Here in the US, Big Nurgle fan says, I am stuck with GW. I can understand that. Death Guard's weakest terrain format is unfortunately GW, but maybe 11th does mix up that terrain format and we do get a bit of a better showing. GW is just a bit too open at the moment. Meds, thank you very much again for the 10 gifted memberships. The guy's an absolute mad lad. Thank you, as stated. Thank you so much, Meds. I really, really appreciate the ongoing support. And again, if you did get gifted a membership from Meds there, make sure to go to our YouTube channel homepage, click the See Perks button and get yourself in the Discord, because Meds has just given you a lifetime membership to the Disgustingly Resilient podcast Discord, because once you're in, you never get kicked. It's just a one-off fee. It's basically to stop trolls, scammers and bots getting in. And yeah, it helps keep the channel alive, helps keep us keeping all the content that we do free for everyone. So Meds is not just supporting us at the channel, he's supporting the entire Death Guard community. So thank you so much, Meds. Well done, and really appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much. So, carry on, sorry, apologies. We do then have, so I start dropping down stuff, so we keep the Rhino fairly central. Obviously, we don't have to worry about getting charged by these Nurglings due to their, they can't go through walls, and obviously he's deployed on the left here, which is quite nice. We have the 2 Beasts of Nurgle, just shimmy up here, wonder where they're going to be going with their scouts. We do end up having our bloat drones just skim at the bottom here. Because the chickens are over there, I actually put a bloat drone fairly aggressively. That means if I get first turn, I can sort of move up here and shoot down at some Beasts of Nurgle and maybe try and pop one of them. The other drones sort of just shimmy around at the bottom here. We have one over here, one over here. I think it's like this. Because again, not too worried about the chicken shooting. It's very hard to get line of sight and range on me. We put a unit of Chaos Spawn right on the corner here as much as possible. Right near the center as much as we can. We put a second unit of Chaos Spawn over this way. Again, ready to hop back behind here if we got a second. But because the chickens are over there, we don't have to worry about that at all. Screamers are just over in the middle here. Screamers are over here. His Plague Bearer is just going to be on his home objective to sticky it. He puts another squad of Nurglings sort of just behind this wall. Again, strung out a bit, so it's just like a second layer of screening. So we'll just put them like this. And his little third man squad of Nurglings just comes 9 inches away from our Poxwalkers. He's just looking to see if he gets a first turn and can do anything. So I'll come and charge me because I've not got too much threat on the back swing. I put down my Demon Prince. Oh, I've missed my Tallyman. Let me just quickly upload my Tallyman. Sealy Aiden. So I always screw up something, and we found it here. There's the Tallyman. Boop, there's the Tallyman. Apologies. Tallyman is in. Tallyman is, you know what he's going to do every single game. He's going to sit on this here and sticky it, pretty much. Demon Prince is going to go within 3 of the Tallyman, just in case, for lone up reasons. But again, enough to be sort of charging forward. Now, I did actually misplay Mortarion a bit here. I kept Mortarion fairly central. I wanted to keep the spawn and the Rhino stuff within 6 him. I should have been a bit close to the Demon Prince, because it was very obvious that if these Nurglings got first turn, they were obviously going to try and run up and gun me up a bit. So I should have been there for a heroic intervention, because Morty's obviously pretty good at killing these things with its sweep attacks, which is really, really nice. But again, I was too focused on the reactor move, so I didn't actually keep him in heroic. So silly misplay on my point. Again, first ever game with a list though, so many learnings will be taken from here. And I don't talk about the things, just talk about the things I do well. I obviously mention the things that I obviously screw up, because it's very important. Obviously, Plague Marines and the Blight Lords. Plague Marines are in the Rhino, Blight Lords are in the sky. So, kind of a lot coming here on first turn. Obviously, if I get first turn, I can sticky this objective here, and then obviously just spread out on it, and I guaranteed holding it because 3 Screamers aren't going to clear it. If I advance to the corner, the chickens aren't going to be able to drop in within line of sight and get shots on me. So I thought, which is quite nice. So, you know, it's pretty good for secondaries in terms of getting the Terraform off early as well for primary. So I was kind of hoping for first turn, and especially on Terraform, first turn is actually quite important. Unfortunately, that's not actually what happened. So I actually end up going second here, which is not great. Now, my opponent gets an Overwhelming Force and an Area Denial. So he actually comes in. So Area Denial, what's he called? So first things first, he moves up his wall here. But actually, he sends these Screamers out to get Area Denial because he knows these Nurglings won't come close. So the Screamers in the middle come out to here. I actually, then when the Nurglings move forward down here, I reactive move these spawn and just put them up to just basically touch sort of through this wall bit here. So we just come up to make sure we get area denial denied as much as possible. So these guys come up as much, because obviously we scouted as much as we could onto here, and then when the Screamers moved up, we had a spawn trailing back to Morty's range, and then they reacted moved on to the objective. Because again, I don't think he's going to expose chicken. These chickens can't get an angle on where I put the spawn from this side, and this chicken, if it comes here, its line of sight is blocked by this ruin here. So we're going to deny area denial, which is a nice little use of the reactive move there. Obviously does mean that my Demon Prince can't reactive move when these Nurglings come running up, so he's about to get charged by some Nurglings. Over scouts wise, I just went actually to the side here, because again, I'm not scared of shooting, and these guys scouted forward, and then they obviously come onto this objective over here, and they start to terraform this. These Screamers take position behind over here. Oh, sorry, these Screamers actually went to, they advanced onto here. These Screamers that were in the middle came through to here to come and charge the Poxwalkers with these Nurglings. So the big chickens at the back kind of just shuffled about a bit, no real shots going off. Line up 2 charges onto these Poxwalkers here. This advanced to get to the middle, so it's not even going to be charging my spawn, which means area denial is 100% stopped, which is really nice. So little cheeky play there. And of course we get the charge goes off from these Nurglings into my Demon Prince. It wasn't in range with Morty to heroic it. My fault, that really should have been in there to stop that getting gummed up for a turn, but it happens anyway. This means it's fairly quiet turn 1. Our opponent does get the terraform on the left here, but he doesn't get the area denial because the spawn, when they scouted towards the wall, were then in range to reactively onto the objective when the Screamers moved up. So we deny area denial completely. 0 points in area denial, which is nice for us to be able to do. Now, he doesn't get Overwhelming Force. This charge does go off, but as kind of expected, because we took -1 to hit Contagion, because obviously we're against demons here, there's no point taking save. They struggled to kill the Poxwalkers, so the Poxwalkers didn't end up having more than 3 alive. Screamers are only OC1, Nurglings are OC0, so we still ended up holding that point there, which is really nice. We don't kill anything back in combat, obviously with a Nurgling -1 to hit. We lose like 3 models, something like that. But that means we also don't get killed, so we don't get Overwhelming Force either. So my opponent doesn't score any of the secondaries on the first turn. The Demon Prince swings back and kills like a single base, if that, and takes no damage on the clap back there. But he's got the worst profile possible for killing Nurglings. Damage 1 sweeps need 4 to kill a Nurgling, and damage 3 means you need 2 to kill a Nurgling. It's really, really bad to kill Nurglings with this guy, so he's going to be stuck there as it is right now. So we've got to do something about that. But part of that, you know, denied all our opponent's secondaries. Happy days. Last Criminal 594. Thank you very much for the $7 super chat. Hyped to see how this event went down. Don't forget to become a Plague Marine. Everyone, help these boys keep their amazing work. Thank you so much, Last Criminal. I'm not going to say to take his advice, but you know, he said it himself. So thank you so much, Last Criminal. Really appreciate it. So yeah, not too much really happens this first turn. It's fairly quiet. Comes into my first turn, and unfortunately, I get Assassinate and Bring It Down. They're all back here. They're all lone up 18. And you can't redraw any of them turn 1. Great start. Brilliant. I'm not going to redraw my secondary because I feel I'm going to need it. And basically, I'm going to keep hold of the secondary. I'm going to keep hold of Assassinate anyway, because he's going to have to interact with his chickens at some point. So I kind of want to make sure if he interacts with me, I'm going to get 5 victory points off him interacting. So I keep that. Get rid of Bring It Down. Could have probably kept both, but again, it's a bit risky if he just doesn't come forward, then I get 0 secondaries. Whereas if he doesn't come forward and I've only kept 1 of them, I can then obviously redraw it at the start of my turn and get rid of it. So depends how he works here. So we're not worrying about secondaries this turn. We just fall back with these Poxwalkers here. We line up these bloat drones, come down here to shoot the Screamers because they're 3 wounds each. So perfect shooting for some bloat drones. So 2 bloat drones line up on that. The spawn move up to here just to basically come out and just push up a bit to put some OC on. This doesn't really matter too much. I'm pushing back the screen. I'm pushing back screens because I don't want the demons to be deep striking 6. So we do this, we push this a bit to the side here, so we screen out all this front bit. The Rhino moves up to stage. Oops, sorry, Morty obviously comes over here. The Rhino moves up to stage, doesn't actually do any shooting though, just kind of chills. This blood run comes down the side to shoot Beast Nurgle, see if we can get a kill off for free. And yeah, we fire off the bloat drones. Don't kill a Beast Nurgle on the left. These two absolutely whiff the bed. Don't even kill the Screamers at all. We kill one because we just whiff real hard on the shooting. So not a great start, not ideal, not going to lie. But it is what it is. These spawn, I believe, they can't even terraform because of this. Oh yeah, that's what we do. We move the Rhino. We put the Rhino. The Rhino got indirected, by the way, by Kairos, but didn't take any damage, which was fine. The Rhino then just peeps its head out here and does some shooting into the Screamers with the, obviously, the plasma guns and stuff inside. I think we shoot the Playcaster and the plasma gun. We do kill the Screamers that were on the middle here, down to, I think it's a single guy. So these two spawn here, end up just towing it, and they just do a terraform on the middle. So we do get a terraform in the middle here, which is quite nice. So we have a bit of points going on from terraform. Part of that though, not much happens. Morty does a charge. I make sure to charge over the top of the Nurglings to get to the other side of them here, to get that extra movement, trying to free myself from combat. And thankfully, Morty sweeps do connect and manage to kill every single Nurgling to the T, which is really, really nice. So Morty is in a good position up here to sort of just be helping out with the... he's more like here, to be honest with you. Demon Prince is more like that. He's more like that. So Demon Prince comes over, kills all the Nurglings. Happy days there. So we killed some Nurglings. We whiffed on the shooting completely. Again, not much happening. We're waiting for the Demon player to commit, because obviously we want to do that. Then it comes into our Demon player's second turn. So he is gonna hold the 1-2 and then gets 2 on Terraform, because obviously his turn is going to be my turn. I'm not going to Terraform this. He's kept Overwhelming Force and draws Display of Might. So I make a boo-boo here. I kind of forgot. I do this all the time against demons. I keep thinking Demon's 6-inch Deep Strike is based around the Shadow of Chaos, which is around the big demons, and controlling half the objectives. I consistently forget they have a 1 CP strat to just do it. So, yeah, Scarbrand appears here. You may notice the issue with this list, having not many units. It's very, very hard to screen things. Now, admittedly, if I was smart, I'd have just brought this thing back here. But even then, 6 inches is quite hard, and I'd give up that shooting. It's not easy. So, a bit of a blunder. Again, first game of the list, go easy on me. And he's looking at Mortarion. Now, Morty actually can't be charged at the moment, because he can't go past the Demon Prince in engagement range. But, right now, Scarbrand is out OC in the Tallyman and the Demon Prince, which is really bad. I don't want to lose home objective. So these Beasts and Nurgles move out like this. One of them just step within 9 inches of Mortarion, or maybe these Screamers come over here. I actually reactively move Mortarion to put him back on the point and within charge range of Scarbrand, because if he's going to go for a charge, he's probably going to go for Mortarion, and Mortarion is far more likely to survive than the Demon Prince. Risky, yes, but I have a Scarbrand on my home objective, so we're already in Risk Town, and we might as well, you know, up the ante here. But it does mean we hold primary, and again, I don't want to have a 0 turn of primary, because this chicken also came down over here after picking it up, and he's going to just shoot off the rest of these things over here. And it's not, you know, it's going to be bad news bears for us, really. Oops, sorry, let me just click that. So it's going to be bad news bears on that front. Kairos Fate Weaver, so comes like here. Doesn't really do too much though, and Be'lakor is also chilling at the back. The Plague Bearers got picked up. They didn't get picked up, they're just chilling. He picked up the chicken, sorry. But not else much happens here. Kairos tries to shoot the spawn, doesn't get it. This chicken with the shooting here does end up peeling off these Poxwalkers. Unfortunately, I do end up rapid ingressing though. My Blight Lord's back here, because I want them to sort of come out and kill the chicken. And again, with only one chicken shooting at me, I'm not too scared. It's only AP2, doesn't ignore cover, so 3 up saves. So that, okay, that's fine. We'll sort of come in here. It means we can walk up, shoot this chicken, and maybe get some charge and try and clear this point. So yeah, he goes for his charge. So Scarbrand just charge into Mortarion. I'm debating my stratagems here. Now, I have the debate in my head for a while. I've obviously got plenty of CP. I can -1 damage here, but I also want to keep CP for next turn, because I know I'm going to have to try and clap this chicken here. There's also, you know, going to be wanting to, you know, maybe Scarbrand doesn't die. There's things I'm going to have to do. I've just spent a rapid ingress here. So I'm debating -1 damage. I actually decided not to. CP roll is just a much better use against this because Scarbrand is flat 6, I believe he told me. So I have to basically weigh that up. So passing 1 invulnerable is equivalent to having 6 instances of -1 damage because I'm taking 6 less damage. So it's much more efficient for me to save the CP and go for the go for the CP roll on the 4+ invulnerable, because if I pass that, it's the equivalent of knocking off 6 damage off the attack, which is really, really cool. So, Scarby Boo comes in, the shooting went there, again, Poxwalker's dead, not much happens, these beasts and Nurgle just charge into these spawn, that's going to go on for 5 years, as you can imagine, and basically, Scarbrand puts 6 wounds on Mortarion, so 6 4+ invulnerables, so I'm thinking in my head, okay, alright, okay, calm down, we average past 3 of these, so then we take 18, we've got to feel no pain though, so we average take 12, and we're going to CP roll one of those in failed invulnerables, so we should live, theoretically. We then roll, and we make 6 out of 6 4+ invulnerables. Get scammed. Absolutely scammed. As you'll notice, this list is like a Catan list, as we'll go on, and if you do something like this, it just goes very bad for your opponent. So, absolutely scammed the poor Kevin here. Scarbrand does literally nothing. Like, literally completely bounces. Now, on the bright side, Mortarion swings back, and as we all know, Mortarion is a bit of a wet noodle, so doesn't really end up doing that much to all Scarbrand here. I think we put 5 damage on him. I put 4 on him, because I got 2 wounds through, and I rolled the damage and rolled double 1, and I was like, nice. so 4 damage on Scarbrand back. But again, can't complain, because I just scammed him on his invulnerable, so I really, really can't complain there. So yeah, really, really nice. So apart of that, not a bad turn. Now, my opponent does get overwhelming force at this point because he did kill those Poxwalkers that are up here, but he does manage to get Display of Might as well, because obviously he's ran all these units out into the middle, so he's got far more units than I even started with, so he's obviously going to get Display of Might. So, not ideal for us. It does mean we do hold home, and we also hold mid, because these spawn weren't contested, which is quite nice, because these guys had to go away from them because they were getting smashed, and they wouldn't be able to out-see it anyway. Kairos did take a pot shot at the spawn, didn't manage to kill one. No, he shot the Rhino trying to pop it. Didn't manage to kill it though, sorry. So the Rhino is still alive. Happy days. So that's good. Always keep your Rhino alive if possible. Nice to see. JB, It and VV have given me so much more room to work with without worrying about screening or holding objectives too heavily. The 12-inch reserves Deep Strike Denial goes off model and not off base. Both. Oh, you mean about the Plague Bong? So you got the Plague Bong. Yeah. I mean, the Plague Bong's fun for like area denial stuff. It's always good to have that, but it should be way cheaper. It's not worth its cost for that thing. But it does screen out an immense amount of room. So. So again, I got lucky. I need to remember this, and obviously screening is going to be a big problem with this list going forward, but it is the nature of the beast. So in my turn, I've obviously kept Assassinate, and I get Recover Assets as well. So what we do is we end up hopping out the Plague Marines. The Plague Marines then basically stare at Scarbrand here. Mortarion flies over Scarbrand to over here. So Mortarion's just getting out way of Scarbrand. Demon Prince stands in the way to block against Scarbrand can't fly. So now Scarbrand cannot come through this gap to get to Mortarion. So Mortarion's kind of safe. Obviously he's had to fall back, which is a bit annoying. But it means that Mortarion's looking to get in the fight a bit more up here, which is really nice. Plague Marines hop out, line up guns at Mr. Scarbrand here. These bloat drones, the Blight Lords walk out as well. The bloat drones come to line up on Scarbrand as well. We just basically line up every single bloat drone we can on Mr. Scarbrand over here. This thing flies up here to shoot him down this way. So we have a lot of shots going to Scarbrand. Now, we shoot all the HBL drones into him. We drop him quite low. The HBL drones do strike better this turn. I think we use the 3 strat to reroll the shot amounts. Scarby does get low. The Plague Marines, I think they haven't activated yet. I think they throw a grenade at him as well to get him even lower. And he's got 3 wounds with the Plague Marines activate, so we don't spend the CP to give him 4 rolls to hit and wound. And Scarby Boo just explodes. So, Scarbrand's dead, which is great. Happy days. Scarbrand's gone. The Blight Lords then shoot everything they've got into the Lord of Change up here. And we do spend the CP here for the 4 rolls to hit and wound because we didn't need it down here. We waited to see how this went down. And again, didn't need it, so now we can go on here with it. They unload absolutely everything to this Lord of Change, and they drop him from full wounds to, I think, 5 wounds from shooting, which is pretty good, pretty good. Especially with no LOV in here, so you don't have the extra gun. But, 4 rolls to hit and wound, we need on 5s with most of these guns. Although, 5s with most of these guns. Still pretty good, really happy with that. So you knock him down an absolute bunch here. This fighting goes on in the middle. These spawn come out and just eat this guy here, which is nice. They just kill that guy and consolidate back onto the objective. So again, so far so good. Not too bad here. I'm fairly happy with this. So my opponent's turn comes along, and so we scored our recover assets. I think recover assets we ended up doing with, it was this fella here, and I think the Rhino, obviously, the Rhino has tucked back a little bit as well. The Rhino didn't shoot. Could have got the full reels to win from the Rhino, but I ended up having to use it for recover assets because it's not my deployment zone. So we recover, and we did end up getting that assassinate we kept on first turn. My opponent picks up his Plague Bearers in his turn and Be'lakor. So these guys are in his reserves now. And he has these Nurglings, like, they were spread all along. They start to just come back and screen out. Because I'm all on the board, obviously. So Be'lakor, 6-inch deep strikes again. Because I can't stop it happening. I keep forgetting about it. Right next to Mortarion. He really wants Mortarion dead. Can't really blame him at this point. We obviously charged and killed the Lord of Change here. Forgot about that. Obviously going to follow that charge up. We rapid ingressed and walked up to him 4 inches away. Charged and do manage to finish off the Lord of Change there. And then pile into the, consolidate into these units, because let's be honest, Screamers as Ancient Nurglings aren't going to do absolutely anything to Blightlord. So we take out this objective of pure OC, and we're just going to get, the fight on. So the Kairos comes down to here, actually, and then the Flamers coming in front of him to try and kill off these spawn in the middle. These Screamers come down to here. Now, I have actually moved these Plague Marines. When I moved them in a way that my heavy Plague Weapon, so realistically, the squad is more lined up like this. So I've got in the very corner here a heavy Plague Weapon that is within range of Mortarion's reactive move. So again, just imagine them more like this when they shot Scarbrand. Again, positioning is rough. These Screamers triggered it, and then I hop back in the Rhino, so this Kairos now can't shoot my Plague Marines. So these Plague Marines are back inside the Rhino, safe from Kairos Fateweaver, so who's going to have to shoot the Rhino now, which is, again, really happy with. So these spawn are about to get flamed, about to get charged by these. Be'lakor comes into my Mortarion over here. The Plague Bearer is also coming to the middle here for a 6-inch charge. So lots of 6-inch charges coming onto this little dude here, this little spawn in the middle. He's not having a great day, I'm not going to lie. My spawn and these beasts are in an absolute slap fight, so they're just going to go for it forever. Be'lakor charges Morty. Obviously, all this shooting happens in the middle. The spawn actually don't die because Strength 5 Flamers don't do it. They end up getting charged by the Plague Bearers and these Screamers. Still don't die because it's spawn, because they're a pain in the ass. Kairos doesn't kill the Rhino again. Pop smoke to survive that one. Kairos does kill somebody. He shoots this blood drone. He shoots my little propeller that's sticking out. He wanted to shoot the Plague Marines. They re-embarked. So then he shoots blood drone and does kill that, which is a bit annoying. But it is what it is. So, yeah, Be'lakor swings at Morty. Again, we keep the CP up for this invulnerable reroll because it's far more important. He does something like 6 damage to Morty or 7 damage to Mortarion at this point. Mortarion swings back, ends up doing 5 damage. So not much. So those two, again, are just, sitting in an endless fight that's going to go back on forth. But again, not too bad at this point. So our opponent last turn did end up holding 2 objectives because he cleared this one here and this one. So he's homing this one. And he's got Terraform. So the Terraform's still going on this. And he did sticky it for a CP. So I can't really get to this right now, which is a bit annoying. This Beast of the Nurgle is touching it. So even if I get this bloat drone around both OC3, so I can't take it off him. So I decided to keep the bloat drone just shooting at Be'lakor to try and do some damage. If I decide to fall back Mortarion. Mortarion does, I think we do try and do the big suck. Because we took a bit of damage as well from something else. The shooting attacks of Be'lakor, that was it. So we'd like 8 wounds down on him. So we try and heal up. I think we do 3 damage to Be'lakor, heal 3 up, which is, again, quite nice. Keeping Morty alive is kind of the biggest thing here, is keeping him being a pain in the ass. We get no prisoners and overwhelming force. So I'm like, okay, big boy time now. We hop out the Plague Marines, and I initially keep them behind this wall. I'm like, okay, don't want to get shot by Flamer Overwatch. And then I realize, oh wait, this Flamer is like strength 5. So we just say, fuck it, and we just walk out anyway, because we're going to be on 5s. So these guys just move out, lining up all the guns and everything possible. This Rhino drives into here and sticks its nose through. Blightlords are just going to finish off these Nurglings in combat in my turn. There's 1 base left, so I know I'm going to get no prisoners there. So I've lined up Kairos, lined up the Flamers here. Obviously got these guys here and these guys here. So I'm like, okay, right. Let's see what we can do over here. This bloat drone comes up to shoot Kairos as well. Demon Prince comes ready to help Mortarion out in the back there as well. Tallyman goes and stands on the middle of the objective to stop people deep striking on it. So we just kind of go in for a turn for just trying to kill as much as possible. I forgot how spicy the Plague Marine shooting can be, so I don't actually end up split firing it anywhere near as much as I can. So I end up putting all the HBL, that Blight Launchers and the Spewers, go into the... so we have the Biological Putrefire Grenades, the Spewers, and the Blight Launchers fire into the Plague Bearers, because I want to get all the OC gone. The Plasma Guns and the Plaguecaster all fire into Kairos. The Plague Bearers get absolutely deleted from like half of the shots. I'm like barely going through. Oh yeah, Morty's mortal wounds just chipping away at Bellico. They're like 2 here. They're doing stuff to the Beast and Nurgle, but it doesn't matter because they heal up to full anyway. So I think I did like 2 mortal wounds here or there. Wasn't doing too much because these guys just heal to full. So not the greatest use of it. The bolters from this managed to finish off the last Screamer. I did get a hit on the Screamer before on Pylons, just due to how it was positioned. So there was only 1 left, and this spawn splashed some damage back as well. So they die. The shots go into Kairos, and out of 6 plasma shots, we fish for absolutely everything. We managed to get all 6 lethal hit sustains, and then we managed to wound him with another 4 of them. So he ends up taking 10 plasma shots. He fails 6 of the invulns, takes 12 damage just from plasma. Because, again, reasons. Because crit 5s is funny. So this is basically an ongoing fight. Morty just shoots his Rockwind to help him kill some Screamers here. That's what finished them off. And then just shot the Lantern at Bellico, did nothing. But we do then make the charge, because obviously we can, with the round didn't move before we got out. So we make a charge into Kairos. Absolutely clap his cheeks, and then we consolidate into the Flamers, and I'll be honest, I probably could have put way more attacks into the Flamers as well, and killed a bunch of them as well. So far, happy days. Blightlords finish off the Nurglings over here. Bellico gets another bonk from Mortarion, doesn't die just yet. I think they have another round of combat, but they barely scratch each other. Both of them get really good on invulns this turn. Demon Prince then also comes into the fray and starts helping out as well. But Bellico is on. I think he's down to 2 wounds at this point. He's not really having a good one. He's not hanging in too well. So my opponent then gets secure No Man's Land, which he does actually manage to do because the Beast of Nurgle manages to run over here in advance, which does out OC me. So he holds that one because it's stickied that one in his home. He then also had Secure No Man's Land and Defend Stronghold, which I'm not really going to look to push towards. I can't. I'm too slow at this point. I'm fighting over here. So he scores both of them fine, but Bellico does end up going down in the combat on this turn here. So Bellico is now gone. These guys fell back and shot the Plague Marines again. Didn't really do anything because Strength 5 Flamers. They killed like 2 this time. He got a bit better on his rolls, but it's not the greatest target for them. Comes into our next turn, we get Extend Battle Lines and Cleanse. So these guys, so the Pox, we don't even have total pass morale because they're only 2-man units. The Spawn chills in the middle. We drive the Rhino on to help the OC issues out. The Plague Marines move up like this just to see the we don't even move actually because we don't want to get shot by the Flamer Overwatch. We just stand still, shoot the crap out of them, kill them. We put some guns down here to help out with the Rhino as well, and Mortarion moves up just in case. This Beast of Nurgle is absolutely dead mode. So we have Spawns, Cleanse. The Blight Lord's just going to sit on this the rest of the game and cleanse as well. Double cleanse there. Obviously gets us our Extend Battle Lines. Spawn is just chilling, moving up here, just being like, hey, we're cleansing against the wall. Opponent just falls back so we don't get his primary on last turn over here. But he's pretty much out. These Spawn finally get killed from the ongoing combat of the Beast Nurgle. Just consolidates back. At this point, it's basically just on cleanup duty. We get sabotaging behind enemy lines. This Spawn unit just runs into get behind enemy lines. And I think it's actually Mortarion was like here. And he does an advance and manages to get just over this line over here with his movement. He moves his 10 and they've got a 6 on advance, and this Nurgling does a bit 2 to the side. So we do manage to get 2 for behind enemy lines, which is quite nice. So we get max on that. And we also get a sabotage as well, which I think was just done by these Spawn who just literally walked into this ruin, into the enemy's deployment zone and just did it there. So overall, that brought us sort of to the end of that one. So 91 to 75 victory. Lessons to be learned are the screening is horrendous in this list. You can get deep striked on really, really quickly, which is not ideal. You have to be very careful of that. But Mortarion and Demon Prince, if they just spike invulns, can just tank things all day, every day. And the output from Blight Lords and Plague Marines is still no joke, so you still have plenty of output to punch into your opponent. But lots of mistakes made in the first game, but we did see the power of the reactive move a little bit as well, be able to get back to defend primary, get the Plague Marines back in the Rhino ready for next turn to go and unload again. So, great game. Kevin was absolutely lovely, and thank you so much again for the little Nurgling reminder. And yeah, we'll sort of move on to the next one here. I'm just going to quick sip a drink. So next up, we have Eldar. So Mr. Mike Eccleston, Mike the Cage Eccleston, was running Spirit Conclave. I have never ever played against this in my life. I don't even know what it does. This is the Wraith detachment, obviously making use of all the Wraith point drops that came across recently. So we have Lycus here, Lycus and some Warp Spiders still, so, you know, move a bajillion, still charge, still shoot, do a bunch of damage. 3 Spirit Seers, all which have enhancements which do certain things, which I can't remember what they do. One of them, like, doubles their OC. One of them lets them, like, I don't know if it gives them Assault or something like that. A bunch of stuff. They don't really come up. The double OC one's the only real important one here. Part of that, we've got a squad of big Storm Guardians with some sticky objectives, which is quite nice. 2 squads of Wraith Blades. These are the melee ones, the dual swords, which I felt really bad when I asked the stat line. He was like the 5-2-2, and I was like, oh, they're really not going to enjoy a toughness 12 with -1 damage, are they? And he was like, no, they're really not going to enjoy that. 2 Wraith Guard. Now, these are scary. They're strength 14, d6 plus 1 damage each of an 18-inch range. So this is actually kind of scary, okay? Those guys are scary guns. A squad of Striking Scorpions. A Shadow Weaver, which is the most weirdest thing in my life. It's an indirect piece that shoots a model, shoots your unit. After it shot you, as long as it hit you, you basically get hazardous footsteps. So every time you move, or even reactive move, you roll dice for every model in the unit, and on a 1 you take a mortal wound. So you get hazardous feet. Very funny. This guy was very funny to play as well. We were having such a laugh, such a funny game with this, Mike. So yeah, that was a thing. Mr. Byron coming with a 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so... The drink is for you, my friend. Thank you so much, mate. You're an absolute legend. Again, if you got gifted a membership there, you've been gifted a membership to the Disgustingly Resilient Podcast Discord for life. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel homepage, click the See Perks button, get yourselves in there, and once you're inside the Discord, go to your Discord settings, connections, link it to YouTube, and unlock the full server here. Thank you so much, Byron, for helping keep this this channel going, and also for supporting the community in an amazing way. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it, mate. So yeah, 5 Striking Scorpions. Again, the Infiltrate, the Scout, they actually have a bunch of attacks, like sustained hits and crit 5s on the charge with a bunch of chainsaws. No joke, actual scary unit, as I found out. 5 Swooping Hawks, annoying, drops in, does grenady things, lots of lethal hits, little shots. 3 Warlock Skyrunners. Wow, sir, I saw him in the chat before. What is this unit? It is a guy on a bike, which has all the attributes of a character, but is not a character, and it's also not lone up. It is a single 3-wound elf on a bike that is not a character, but is not lone up, but is a single model unit. Great for scoring secondaries, I guess, but weird. The reason these are important, though, is his entire detachment, basically, if his Wraith units are near Psychers, they get +1 to hit. So that's why he has all these little like Spirit Seers and all these other Psychers. Also, if I kill his Psychers, whatever killed them gets like an Oath of Moment put on them for +1 to hit, +1 to wound. So, pretty scary. Obviously means if, as we'll find out, if Mortarion was to casually walk next to a Spirit Seer or Skyrim which has 3 wounds and casually kill it with Mortal Wounds aura, Morty is then +1 to hit, +1 to wound for their entire army for the rest of the game. Sure, that won't be relevant. A squad of Warp Spiders obviously go Lycus, and then 3 Wraith Lords with 2 Bright Lances, which are like their equivalent of Dreadnoughts. And as you'll see, they're interesting. It's a unit. That is a unit. So we are playing Purge the Foe. I'm so sorry, Mike. So 6 3-wound individual characters on Purge the Foe, and a bunch of 5 model units against the list that is basically 4 units. Not the best draw, I'm not going to lie, Mike, unfortunately. So anyway, we start deploying, though. We do infiltrate our Poxwalkers on this objective up here safe. Now, the thing is, the Scorpions deploy here, infiltrate. They can scout back behind here and go for the first turn kill. They're probably going to go in and kill the Poxwalkers. That's fine, because if they kill my Poxwalkers, as long as I can kill them back, it means we're both going to get kill 1 on the first turn. If I was smarter with this, what I would have actually done is I would have made it so that maybe I strung back to Morty, or at least had some way to... Example, I had my spawn here, and I scouted them to here. If I had scouted them right into the corner a bit more, I did scout them upwards, but if I could have kept my Poxwalkers, they were against the wall up here, rather than down this side, If he'd have charged, there's a chance I could have got a heroic off, gone into them, pulled some attacks away from the Poxwalkers, kept them alive, and then killed the Striking Scorpions for free, kept the Poxwalkers alive, which denies him 5 points, keeps me 5 points. But again, first time using Morty, still learning all the reactive move techs. Also, thank you very much, Byron. These are my absolute favourite videos. You're the best. Thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoy the event recaps. They are fun to do, to be fair. They take a bit of setup but to get all the stuff on, but they are fun to do. So, putting more stuff down, so we have some Wraith Blades come back here. We have a squad of Wraith Guard here as well. We have another squad of Wraith Blades just over here. So all the blades and all the melee variants are in the middle. We do have some Wraith Guard down this way. These are shooty variants. Like it is chilling back here because she doesn't need to be anywhere. Spirit Seers are in reserves. We also have the Storm Guardians on his home objective to sticky it. The indirect piece is going to go in the back corner. The Wraith Lord comes up here with a Spirit Seer next to it. There's a Spirit Seer in here somewhere. There's a Wraith Lord like down here behind here. Nothing was really changing like how I was deploying it, so I'm doing it like this. I basically kept Mortar and the Demon Prince in the middle. Sort of, again, there's no lines of sight shooting here at all, so it's really safe deployment. We do put a squad of spawn out in the front here in case we get first turn. We can move and just put 2 guys behind this wall in an angle to make it really awkward for our opponent to deal with. So we do put these guys up front. Rhino stays fairly central because again, the Rhino's going to play around this L bit here. We're going to do a lot of tricks in here to sort of hop out, shoot, get back in, whilst being in range of both objectives. So if he tries to push either objective, it's going to trigger that reactive move so we can get back inside the Rhino behind the wall. Bloat drones up here, bloat drone back here. Learn a bit from last game, keeping my bloat drones fairly back. I need to go steal the Tallyman. Let me steal the Tallyman. Hello, Tallyman. Thank you. Steal Tallyman back here. So bloat drones are going to play a bit more backline this time, just to make sure we keep those screens up. I'm not too scared of what's in reserve. It's just some swooping hawks. It's not really the worst thing in the world here. These weird little bike dudes are just kind of like spread out absolutely everywhere throughout his army. One is, I think one's even in reserves for him, just to come and do actions. But yeah, we obviously keep the Blight Lords in reserves as well as the Plague Runners inside the Rhino. So we do end up, so we're playing Purge the Foe, and we go second, which is actually one of the ones you do want to go second in. So we went second on Terraform where you want to go first, and we went second in Purge where you want to go second. So evened out, can't complain, happy with that. So as sort of expected, we scout up here. Again, I should have scouted more towards the top to stop the thingy falling back. These guys scout behind here. These guys scout forward over here. I think that's all the scouts he's got. I don't think anything else scouts in his army. Obviously, that gets sticky back there. So yeah, these guys come in and pretty straightforward. They just charge into here. I do react to move off this to get into this corner here. Unfortunately, again, I couldn't get enough movement to react to move onto the middle bit here. He did also move his Wraith Blades up with extra movement, so if I did that, I was at risk of being charged, which I wasn't particularly happy about. Part of that, though, is not too much going on. This bike does end up flying right down the side here. Oh, not yet, sorry, that's next turn. He just kind of stages these in here. These guys, the bike does fly into this objective over here. The Wraith Guard come and move up the back bit here. Wraith Lord, again, just moves up. There's not much going on really here. These guys are all just basically moving up. Standard, sort of what you'd expect from a first turn. Storm Guardians sticky this, and they do actually end up spending a CP and moving out to here. So what they do is they move out to here, and they put a single guy on the objective, because obviously that means I've then got to go deal with it, which is a little bit annoying. But it is what it is. It's, you know, if he's going to do that, he's going to do that. So, does kill the Poxwalkers, because those guys have a bajillion attacks there. But then obviously has to consolidate onto the middle here, which means that I am going to get shots back at them at least, which is quite nice. Now, the interesting thing here is that with them being there, I kind of have to take the point back off them. And there's obviously going to be, you know, charges coming from other things next turn. So this is the thing you'll learn in this list. Sometimes you have to concede points early to get back late. So as you'll see as we go on. So what we do is, our opponent had no prisoners and secure no one's land. He obviously gets no prisoners for the Poxwalkers. No one's land. Now, the cool thing is, yes, he got a kill as well first turn. But the weird thing with this list is, because I'm so elite and so expensive and so chunky on my units, it's actually really hard to get kills versus this list. So even though the Poxwalkers getting killed early seems bad, that's one of the easier kills gone off the board already. He's not going to get any 3 kills from now on. Every kill he's going to work really hard for to try and get, and if he ever wants to kill more, he's going to have an insane turn. So actually, it's not the worst thing in the world. So anyway, comes to our turn, we need to make sure these guys die here. Now, the problem is, these are Eldar. If I shoot them, they have a battle focus where they can hop back behind the wall, and then it's going to become really problematic. So we have to kill these in one activation here, which I'm not super happy about. Oh, sorry, these Wraith Blades have actually moved up to here to threaten me next turn. So they're like behind here. So I'm like, okay, right, we have to make sure we kill both these squads. So we drive the Rhino up into this corner. We disembark the Plague Marines here. These Chaos Spawn have moved up and just come up to here. We do end up spending the CP for the plus 2-inch contagion range, plus 3-inch contagion range, to make sure we can get both of these in contagion from these spawn. So all this is in contagion. Morty just moves up to the middle, sort of chills a bit, doesn't go too far out. Make sure, obviously, we've trailed back a heavy plague weapon to move in range of Mortarion here. The Demon Prince goes and stands up on the middle, ready to charge these Storm Guardians. He's only got 1 on the point, so he's only got 2 OC. Demon Prince is 3 OC, so that's fine there. I don't push this bottom. There's a very big temptation for me to send this spawn out and go into the bottom here. But as we said before, with this list, sometimes you need to concede early. Because I know his next play for this squad, he's probably just going to be to go in here or to come here. I don't want him to feel like he's being pressured here, because I want to sort of like give him that false sense of illusion. I want to come down or like try and push it and throw away a unit for free. Because this will go in, maybe kill a character, and it dies for free. And I can't afford using units. So, and again, we're going to deny him an easy purge. If I throw that unit in there, yeah, I kill this guy, but then he gets a really easy purge kill here and just kills that. I don't want him to get a free purge kill. I really don't. Especially not 2. Because, again, if I can kill more every turn, that's going to offset him holding more, potentially. I'm not going to let him hold more anyway. So, this drone moves up to here, ready to sort of, like, do some next turn stuff to come this angle. Also, kind of willing to take the fight with this Wraith Lord here. This Wraith Lord can come here and get a shot on me, but, again, 2 shots, hitting on 3s at best because of the Spirit Seer. That's provided the Spirit Seer stays near him. So, 2 shots hitting on 3s. I have a 5 invulnerable. It's unlikely he one-shots the bloat drone. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll keep the bloat drone there. This thing just comes up here. This guy just moves to here. This guy just moves to here. So we're just making sure we're keeping our screens up. He's only got 9-inch deep strike, so it's not as bad as before. So it just comes something like this here, just to sort of screen out. Now we do end up firing over here. So we do end up having the flamers going to the the scorpions over here. We do obviously have the spawn that can charge as well afterwards. So if he goes behind the wall, we can charge. But the split fire of this unit here kills this unit entirely. Just dead with -1 damage up as well. Just kills the entire unit, which is bonkers. It can crit 5 lethal sustained. It's just daft. Kills that entire unit. We took -1 save contagion, by the way. Apologies to say that. We did take that this turn. So they're all dead. So that's again 1 big unit of Wraith's gone. This unit gets dropped to like 1 guy. He doesn't reckon it's worth it because he can't even move block the wall. I've got the spawn to charge it. So the spawn then just charge in. End up killing that last guy there. Now, I did make a mistake down here. I didn't shoot the Storm Guardians because I was like, if I shoot them, he's just going to pull the front one. But here's the thing. If he pulled the front one, he's already doing what I want him to do. Because he's not on the objective anymore. I end up charging him instead because I'm like, oh, I'm just going to try and get some more damage in. Because I've got 14 sweep attacks. And we do, but then obviously I don't kill the entire squad. And then he, you know, consolidates onto the objective like a dumb arson, and they're obviously OC2. So then they hold that quite easily. I should have just shot them 100%. My bad. But again, I kind of wanted to force him out onto the middle a bit as well with this Demon Prince. So Demon Prince comes out a bit. It's not too crazy. But it does end up meaning that I have gone from being able to... If I'd have just shot them, he probably would have stayed on the objective anyway. Because the OC is really good, and it's very unlikely I wipe the entire unit because of the invulnerable from the Wave Serpent dome thing they've got. But at least I maybe killed like 2 more elves. I just can't... it's nothing crazy, but I lost like 2-3 model kills. That's about it. So, yeah, he doesn't die. My attacks don't have enough to go through the invulnerable and kill them all. He kills like 7 of them, though. But, again, still pretty good. These guys then auto-pass morale in his turn, obviously. So he does end up getting a hold more. Which, again, is... likely going to happen early. It's fine. I don't have the tools to deal with it. Again, I probably could have then sent this in here to kill that. I would have stopped that. But again, it's fine to concede early on this because the late game idea is that he's not going to have much left by the end of it because we're going to keep getting kill more because our things are way more durable than his. So he needs to take this objective off me again. He's trying to just keep focus and hold more, which is essential. My first turn I had sabotage and secure. So we do get secure up here. Sabotage being done by this Rhino in this corner here. So we get some points. The Wraith Blades move up over here. These guys move into the middle. And again, we kept Poxwalkers out. We kept Plague Marines from here, in this corner. They obviously just go and hop back inside the Rhino safely because he needs to come and charge this. Wraith Lord comes to take a pot shot up here. These guys come out to here to shoot the Demon Prince. Very rarely use Demon Prince lone up in this list. You don't have enough infantry to do it. What I could have potentially done is maybe not done the reactive move here. Reactive move the Prince towards the towards the Plague Marines. Restore lone ups and they're not going to get shot from this unit here. But then I'm at risk of getting charged by Plague Marines by these guys here, which is not really something I want to happen. Plague Marines are more important to me. And again, these are only 5 one-shot guns each. So the odds say that they don't, like, kill him. That they do, you know, I've got 4 vulnerable, I can CP here also. This was safer play in my opinion. So, yeah, they come up to here to shoot him. These guys stage here. This guy comes up to here. This Wraith Lord comes over to here as well, sort of staging up. Not too much happening. This bike then flies over to here to give them the +1 to hit and wound. So +1 to hit for being in range. Part though, not much else happens. So he goes to shoot the Demon Prince. These guys fall back, obviously. He goes to shoot the Demon Prince with all these Wraith Guard down here. Does like 3 damage, if that. Like, not much happens again. Hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. You drop like 2 there. I have a 4 up invulnerable save and a 5 up feel no pain. I passed 2 of the invuls and I think I use CP and just reroll the last one because I'm just again don't want to get free purges here. I want to make it easy. These Wraithblade do charge in. They do kill all the spawn up here. They do lose a guy back on the mortal wound splashback, which is pretty funny. This boat drone goes down to 4 because 1 Blight Lads goes through, but I don't die, as we said, probably going to happen. So overall, fairly happy with that. He did get a tempting target in Display of Might. I did tempting target the top one here because, again, I wanted to. He could have potentially converged onto the Demon Prince, but I kind of want this unit of Wraithblades up here. People forget tempting. It's very tempting on tempting to pick one they can never get to, but if you actually pick one they can get to, if you feel comfortable to give up some points, you can control where they put units. So I'm like, I want this unit in here. This guy won't do it on his own. He won't out OC my spawn because I've got 2 of them. So it means this unit is forced to come up here now. And I'll just rinse and repeat what I did last turn. And then that's all his Wraithblades dead. I don't have to worry about them there. It's just done. So we give it to him up here. He gets tempted target. He also has Display of Might. He gets that by default because I literally have 1, 2, 3, 4. In No Man's Land he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, massively outnumbered. It's the curse of the list, but it's fine. We play on. So, not too bad there. Happy. Fairly happy in general. It comes to our turn. We do get hold 1, but we don't get hold more because even though we've got the middle, unfortunately we lost the top here. Just again, to be expected. But we're going to try and get Purge the Foe now for a bit more. So he has brought out his the Storm Guard in his ass still out here. I bring out Mortari and I'm like, right, cool. We're gonna play Broskis in the middle now. So Morty comes out. Does a bunch of mortal wounds to the Storm Guardians, weakens them a lot. This guy falls back. The Plague Marines hop out the same again. They do restore lone up to this Demon Prince now. We fire everything we can to these Wraith Blades. We actually whiff a lot. Like the rolls just weren't spicy this time. And then the bloat drone has to move in advance onto the point because I wanted to make sure I get the point with the OC. I need to get some on it, and I didn't really want to charge with these guys. I wanted to just be able to kill them off. Bloat drone takes point. Happy days. We don't actually get very lucky at all. Now, so last turn we did rapid. We have rapid ingress by the way here again, just safely 9 inches away. Rapid ingress. Again, every time rapid ingress, it's just to go to an objective. I rapid ingress the Blights pretty much every damn time. They just come in here. Their entire job is to just sit on this. All I want to do is sit on this objective because I just want the guns from here to look at them. Am I looking to take and hold this forever? Not really. I'm just looking to take the guns away. So we did rapid ingress. These guys step up, get lines on guns onto these guys here, onto the middle as well. The spawn also come and join along. They've moved to here to get some charges off. So we're sort of having the go turn a bit, but really we're just looking to say, I'm holding 3 this turn. You aren't doing anything about it. Because again, this entire list wants to get 3 for like 2 turns, and that gets if I consistently get Purge the Foe for kill more, if I get 2 turns to hold more as well, then he's not getting back in this game. I'm trying to force a reaction. So we shoot and we kill a bunch of these Wraith Guard here. We get down to like 2 models from the Blight Lords. Again, we whiffed a bit up here, even with the Blight Lord drone shooting, but there's like 1 model left, so there's 2 models left. There's 2 models left, but the problem is you can double the OC. That's why at the start, when I said that enhancement's important. So I end up having to charge them up here with the Plague Marines to kill them. Now, we do manage to kill them, and obviously we managed to consolidate onto the point. So the guys are still safe, but it means I'm not going to have, obviously, all the other tricks there. So these guys get absolutely murked by Mortarion in the middle. These guys then manage to make the charge into this bike person here. So there's the spawn. Bike person gets absolutely murked. Forget that instantly. I should have swung with the spawn. I forgot about the +1 to hit and wound. So now these Blight Lords are oath with +1 to be hit and wound the entire game. If the spawn would have killed him, they'd have had it instead. And then I could have just, consolidate and tag this guy. So silly me. But, silly me. I pile into the other spirits here then. The spawn do 2 wounds to him. So I'm like, well, if you hit me and I splash back a single mortal, you die. Thankfully, Eldar are terrible in combat, so he doesn't actually manage to do anything there, which is pretty funny. So at this point, we've got a Demon Prince and Mortarion in the middle here. We've got a bunch of Blight Lords on his objective. We've got our objective with a load of Plague Marines on it. This is the turn we had Tempting Target and Defend. We're on all 3 could pick anyway, so we got Tempting. Defend's just chilling, got a bloat draw on it. I did move my Tallyman back onto it as well. So we're basically saying to our opponent, do something about this mess. And he kind of has to. There's not really much else he can do here. He kind of has to just make something happen. So our opponent's turn, they get Mark for Death and Storm Hostile Objective. Now, I'm debating what I want to do here. Because Storm Hostile, he can, he's probably going to get, potentially in this middle bit if he sends out all this stuff onto here. Again, he can double the OC, so I want to make him basically commit to this middle bit. So I pick, sorry, I'm getting my confused here. He had Map for Storm, so yeah. So he's not really going to be able to storm the bottom because the Blight Lord's just taking up so much space. But again, these 2 guys are here. Now, he's probably going to converge them at this point. He's probably going to do something like this, these guys up here. Now, what I can do here is I can use Mark for Death against him. Again, same as Tempting Target. If I pick Mark for Death, this, and this, he's not even going to consider it. There's no point. He's just going to throw it away, whatever. I pick the Demon Prince. Because the Demon Prince is killable. If he sends out the Wraith Guard to here, the Wraith Lord comes up to here, Lycus comes over here, and then he spends like the Swooping Hawks on it, he could probably kill that guy. And he does. So I pick that. And he actually goes for it. He sends out all these things to come and kill Demon Prince. Because remember, every bullet going at Demon Prince is not coming here, is not going at Morty, and it ain't going at Plague Marines. I will sacrifice a 200-point Demon Prince here. And again, there's a chance if someone comes really close, I could have potentially racked him up to lone up. But again, I just didn't think about it. I didn't have a guy in the corner here. If a guy was in the corner of this ruin, he could have gone up to there and get lone ups as well. Potentially could have baited that entire thing. But, it is what it is. So this guy moves his battle focus. He comes around to like here. This guy's following as well along. The Shadow Weaver thing's just been shooting things this entire game to give me hazardous footsteps. It killed the Blight Lord. It was very annoying, very upsetting. This Wraith Lord comes out to come and shoot these guys. But again, it means that these Blight Lords, again, are not really dying. They're just kind of chilling. They're kind of having a good time. So he ends up doing the mortal wounds from the Swooping Hawks into the Demon Prince. Does like a mortal because I feel no pain. Lycus shoots him. These decans shoot him. These Swooping Hawks shoot him. This Wraith Lord shoots him. Bright Lances. And he goes to 5 wounds. And he's still alive. He's not dead. All of this has shot him. All of this. Nothing has shot Mortarion. Mortarion is absolutely chilling, having a great time. Down here, there's a couple of hot shots that go into the Blight Lords, but nothing that's going to force me off that point at all. So they're having a great time. Nothing wrong there. This guy charges into the spawn, absolutely slaps them. So spawn die. So he then charges him with Lycus into melee, and the melee from Lycus and the Warp Spider Exarch with the little spider array, all lethal crit 5s, just absolutely overwhelms this guy because that is a bunch of damage 1 AP 2. I didn't realize how many attacks they got. And he does end up going down, but we do heroic with Mortarion. And we kill all the Swooping Hawks, but some very good 5-point vulnerables mean that Lycus does live it in the end on her own here. But again, that's fine. Because now it's going to come to our turn. We have lost the point. He does get Storm, so he gets Storm, he gets Tempting Target. So he gets Marked for Death. But again, it's forced basically his entire army out. So now if we can hit this back hard, we can seal the game. So I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine with me. Comes to my turn, I get Locust and bring it down. Cool. So kill a Wraith Lord, kill things. This just drives to this corner and does scans the thing here. Morty's not in combat specifically because Lycus was not based with Morty. Don't consolidate, so Morty's still free to do things this turn. Morty ends up casually killing a Spirit Save with mortal wounds, so now Morty's over for the rest of the game, thanks random aura of death. The Plague Marines step out to here. They basically line up this Wraith Lord. They shoot and absolutely obliterate that thing into pieces. So let's bring it down. Gone. These bloat drones move up. These guys shoot all down here. Morty and the shooting basically kills all the swooping hawks that were here. Does some damage to these Wraith Guard here. Blight Lords are in combat with this thing because it consolidates them, so that's just an ongoing combat. It's going to be there forever, but again, he can't really clear me quick enough at this point. This bloat drone does move up. Daemon moves onto there. Lycus, again, she could come through. Not too worried. Obviously, I can overwatch if I want to do things like that. We go for the charge into here. We do end up killing this this entire unit of Wraith Guard. So again, opponents lost basically most things here. We're still on 3 objectives. We're still in a really good position to be going from here. So happy, and we get purged. More important, we get purged super easily. We don't kill this bike here. We could have easily then charged back into it to kill the bike. There's no point though, because I'm trying to keep it alive for purge, because purge is going to become harder because he's running out of assets real quick. We do obviously have this thing and kill, this thing and kill, but again, we're running out of assets pretty quickly. Well, he is running out of assets. So it comes to his turn. He ends up getting a behind enemy lines and a cleanse. So I consolidate into Lycus because now she's got crit 5, she's way no less scary. She falls back into here to get behind enemy lines. She can't unsticky because it's 1 OC, 1 OC, and it's stickied. So if it's equal amounts of OC, we still hold it. So she's not doing anything this turn. These guys end up just coming back and end up just... These give up on killing Morty at this point. It's just not happening. This guy's full wounds, pretty much just chilling in the middle objective. This Wraith Lord moves through. Does shoot Mortarion, bounces completely. He basically puts sustained hits on Mortarion for a I think it's a CP of these guys' abilities. 2 Wraith Lords shoot him, do literally nothing. So these Wraith Guards just end up shooting some Blight Lords, doing some damage to them into this ongoing combat because he just falls back and shoots all his stuff. Wraith Lord does charge, and Wraith Lord again gets actual good charge off here into the Plague Marines and does end up killing a whacking bunch of them. It does show you that if your Plague Marines do get touched, they're going to get mauled. They're still very, very squishy, so have to be very careful with them. But again, not the worst thing in the world. They're still cooking, still alive, still enough of them. We do use the 2-up fight on death though, because again, they're more out like here. Morty was more like here. They are within range for the fight on death. We do use the fight on death, and we do actually end up punking that thing with us. So they both die, which is pretty cool. I have a Biology Putrefier left and a Plaguecaster left. That is it. I have a 1 wound Plaguecaster because he failed Hazardous before, and a Biology Putrefier. This bike is just kind of hiding back again. So the fight on death again coming in clutch. Didn't need a react move there. The fight of death was really nice. Down here it's ongoing. Blight Lords are getting whittled down, but there's still like 4 of them. We do start ended up losing this on the primary, but again we've got a whole more places. These guys have done a great job of just keeping the opponent busy. Coming to our final turn, this bloat drone just flies over. This bloat drone flies over here. This is our 4th turn, I think it is. Yeah, we get no prisoners and cleanse. This bloat drone up here just chills and cleanses. This Morty just decides to cleanse in the middle. Morty flies forward. This Rhino comes out onto here and cleanses. Bloat drones flat damage 3 into 3 wounds infantry. Deletes them pretty handily. These guys fall back just to buy me a turn of denying primary, if possible, because we end up killing the spirits here with, I think, Morty's... it's either Lantern... Not Morty, Morty's not dead. Either the Lantern or the Sidekick attack kills him. He's only a 3-wound guy. And we then have a little bike up here that these characters move back and charge into and kill as well up here. So they're happy days, and then they just consolidate back onto the point. Opponent's not got anything left at this point. He gets defend stronghold and establish locust in the last bits of his turn. Spends his battle focus, moves this guy to here, does locust from behind the wall, and defend stronghold I'm not going to get. Doesn't score purge, doesn't kill anything. Our turn, we obviously fly on here, just basically finish off this guy, and this guy drives to here. I think a tank shock this guy to death or something like that. And that is pretty much the end of the game there for that one. We had area denial, display of might at the end there. We get them for literally free. So, basically, kind of happened the same sort of thing. Basically, the Demon Prince and Morty went out together. He tried to basically kill them on a turn where I marked him for death. It cost him his entire army to do so. Did get it, but it's the clapback. The Demon Prince is one of the lowest damage dealing pieces, but he's also one of the most durable. He's a great sort of distraction, great bait piece. Same with Mortarion. Like, this is the weird thing. The hardest to kill things, the ones that deal the least damage. So you kind of use these as absolute bait, him and the Demon Prince, because they are annoying. They do have OC. Like, together, they're like, on this point, like, 6 or 9 OC. Hard to beat. But the other units are what actually deals you damage. So when they come into here and bounce, you just slap them back so hard. So yeah, that ended up being a 98 to 81 victory. Again, if you look at it, it was all down to primary pretty much. We had 36 to our 50. Purge the foe just sort of getting us over the line there with lots and lots of kill modes consistently. So yeah, happy days against the Eldar, happy to kill an Eldar. Then we get this list. Oliver, for the fun fact, Oliver is one of us. He's in the chat. He's a member. He was a Death Guard player. And he betrayed us. And he picked up Blades of Ultramar. And he's been playing Space Marines for a little while. So, this wasn't just any old game. This was a game of retribution and of vengeance. The last time we played, Oliver brought a Storm Raven and beat my ass so hard it hurt. I hate Storm Ravens. He's giving me PTSD on them. But we run into each other yet again. What are the odds? So he shows up with his Blades of Ultramar, and he's got a pretty damn good list. He's got Manius Calgar. He is using the new one because we obviously are using the new rules where you are no longer allowed to use old Manius. Lieutenant with Combi Weapon, got the Wardens of Ultramar, the Cowardice Assassin for that Vector Aura. Then we have a squad of Intercessors, 3 squads of Jump Intercessors, 1 squad of Blade Guy Veterans, 2 squads of Incursors, which are the ones that you hit you get +1 to hit against the target. 3 Ballistas Dreadnoughts, a squad of Scouts, and 2 Repexes. So pretty damn strong list. Pretty, got those Repexes, got the Ballistas, pretty rough. So yeah, Oliver has betrayed us, gone to the boys in blue, and again, he's having a blast with it, so actually, there's actually no salt and no bitterness here. Like, I'm genuinely happy he's having fun with these guys. But there was beef between us. There was literal, on the line, hatred across the table. Between, it was like Typhus and Mortarion. That's basically what it was. So, we are playing Take and Hold on Search and Destroy deployments, which is not ideal, but it's a weird one. There's a lot of angles, but Search and Destroy is quite close to each other. So, important things that go down first. Oliver drops his Combi Weapon Lieutenant down here. That's obviously going to be a big pain in the ass. I actually don't end up infiltrating my Poxwalkers, really. I actually play them really safe just back here, because I know I'm going to need the resources. If I infiltrate them up here, for example, if I put them up here, all it takes for Oliver to put a Rep-X here, drive across here, kill the entire unit, and fuck off. Like, I can't put them down here, because obviously took it first. If I go anywhere, like, up here, like, they're out of the game, because they're nowhere near anything, it's just so, don't, just because something can infiltrate, don't infiltrate. Always. Don't just default. Don't default to infiltrating things. So we do technically use infiltrate because we go a bit closer than we can. But we just enough. Just enough. Then, Oliver puts down his Wardens of Schmultramar, and his Intercessors on his home. Intercessors to Sticky there at home. We then match him 1-for-1 with our Tallyman, which I need to get again. Apologies. Tallyman. Tallyman comes in our home. Now, he has put a unit of JPIs in reserves. I think just the one. Yeah, just the one. JPIs in reserves. The other 2 are on the board. So, speeding up deployment a bit. We do have our Rhino sort of central-ish here. Mortarion is over here. Not touching the wall, obviously. Don't want to get shot for absolutely free. But he's basically towing on as much as possible with his wings angled so that he can't get shot from down this way or down this way. Demon Prince is chilling next to him. Basically just here. Again, both of these were in range of the reactive move nonsense. Spawner down here, chilling again. If they get first turn, can potentially scout Sticky the objective. We have a bloat drone down here like this. A bloat drone up here like this. Another squad of spawn over here like this. And do a bloat drone over here like this. Oliver. Now, I know Oliver. And Oliver likes to play flanks. He always has, and he always does. He's a very flanky boy. So he ends up putting like this here. The second I see this repulsor going, because this went down before Morty, I'm like, right. This now, these two are going to really struggle to get over here. Like, not struggle too much, because it is Dev Doctrine, Ultramarines. But it means that my realistic play is to play this angle here. And because if I get behind this wall, I'm not getting shot by anything coming up here. And I need to play around these Rep-X's pretty bad. So, yeah, that's fine with me. We have Ballistas come down. So, all the Ballistas crew comes down over here. We also got Ballistas at the back up here. Calgar and Cohen taking center, front, and right. Incursors of Scout, they go on the line there just so they can be annoying little shits. JPI's behind them. JPI's over here. Wardens of Schmultramar in the middle. Again, very aggressive deployment. He's quite an aggressive player. We have the Scouty boys come up here so they can scout on if they want to, or run away like cowards if they want to. I don't want the scouts so big like that. And then these JPIs and reserves, and his Calidus, I think he's just chilling back here somewhere. She's like in here. So, very sort of forward aggressive from Oliver. Bit conservative on my front, trying to obviously not throw away units for absolutely free, because it is a bit worrying, especially on this deployment, and given how fast Ultramarines can go with Dev Doctrine. So, Oliver goes first. Oliver ends up going first here. So, he immediately knows what he needs to do because we're on take and hold. So, I'm by default, if you're on take and hold, you can pretty much assume as long as your opponent is alive by turn 5, they're going to get 15. So, again, he has to play with that knowledge. It means he has to be a bit aggy. So he moves his combi lieutenant down here onto here. This Rep X comes flying down. Cannot get a line of sight on this drone here, thank God. This Rep X comes down here. Can't get a line of sight on the drone, thank God. This Ballista Dreadnought comes to like here, though. Can get a line of sight on the drone, so he's going to shoot me with that. The Incursors move down with the Scouts. He comes here. JPI stage up behind him. Other Ballistas comes out. So, as you can see, he knows he wins the gunfight. He knows 100% he wins the gunfight. So he's taking these lanes, taking these angles at the bottom here. Being an absolute, bit of a terrorist with it. He obviously advances these ballistas because he's not getting any shots off. Hasn't popped any doctrines this turn. So a lot of this is advanced. The Wardens are smolts from Archon into the middle. I do react to move this. I move the Demon Prince up out of loan up range. But again, a lot of this is advanced or hasn't got an angle. Worst case, I'm getting shot by a single ballistas. But he's probably going to want to shoot this drone down here, given that he's also oafed this target. So I know I'm kind of safe to push this Demon Prince up, because, again, I want to get into these angles here and push him away from where all these tanks are. So up here, the top of the map is where I'm kind of wanting to push, really. So, okay, happy with that. So, one's going to the middle. Part of that, this is pretty much everything that happens this turn. These guys just stage up here, stage up here. The Scouts have moved back to here. I have scouted into this corner over here, my spawn as well. The spawns are just scouted a bit. So, it goes to shooting. He does end up shooting into this drone. The drone does manage to spike the invulnerable a little bit. Goes down to 3 wounds, which is really nice. Oh, I did. Sorry, yeah, I did have pop. Yeah, sorry, the Poxwalker was right up to this wall and behind this wall, so I did have still have loan up on him. Yeah, this one ballistas could shoot him because it was in loan up range. It was like here, so I did have it. Yeah, so again, apologies, thank you for the memory there, Oliver. So it was something like this. Just imagine the Poxwalkers around the wall like this. They're doing the usual L thing against the wall. So I'm just towing within 3 inches of him for loan up. He's not going to shoot this one ballista at me because, again, he's got better things to shoot it. So he does get his first turn. He gets area denial tempting target. I end up it doesn't matter what attempt here because he's going to get it. I think I end up tempting this one here just so he has to keep a scout on it because it might make something easier for me. Or it might be middle. It doesn't really matter. He was going to get it anyway. I just picked one at random, I'm pretty sure. I think it was his bottom one, maybe. Just make sure his combo attempt walked onto it. So yeah, it gets tempted. Oh no, it was the middle because I wanted to at least send something out into the middle. So yeah, he sent the Wardens out. So yeah, because if he sent out the Incursors into the middle, I could then just reactive move with something like the Poxwalkers and put OC on it, and then he has to consider shooting me, which controls his lanes of shooting. So yeah, we didn't bother with that. My first turn comes along though, and so yeah, no real damage done. We just lost some wounds on this guy here, pretty good. My first turn comes along. I get bring it down and recover assets. So not ideal, not great, but not the worst. We take that, bring it down, recover assets. So what we end up doing is we end up having this spawn goes from advanced, doesn't get 5 to get into the objectives, it just comes to here. This drone unit comes out to here. This other drone comes out to just behind him. The Tallyman just is ready to do assets. We advance with Mortarion because we just want to pop him on this objective because there's nothing he's got anywhere near that can out OC me with the Scouts. The Scouts think. The Scouts, again, can't get charged. Demon Prince moves down to here, though. The Scouts are like this. That's it, yeah, Scouts like this. Demon Prince moves down further into his lines. Again, I want to get these 2 units into this top corner because it's away from all this heavy firepower here. But I know what a problem these guys can be because I know Oliver's going to get really aggy with these infantry. So I end up sending the spawn out to here. I end up sending the Poxwalkers out to here. I end up putting the Rhino on the wall here so that I can safely get it back out on my side because I know I need the shots into these Wardens of Ultramar in the middle as well here to try and get rid of as many as possible. So we end up doing some shooting. We do get a big 6 shots on this drone down here into these incursors, and we do actually end up wiping the entire squad. -1 save contagion, again, obviously against Marines. They've got so many rerolls, don't take -1 to hit. So bloat drone there gets very lucky. He obviously stood still, he's not going to move, or as he gets oafed and gets killed in Overwatch. So very lucky there, which is really nice. Then we have a bunch of shooting coming from the Rhino top hatch. I think we fired the Malignant Plaguecaster, and I can't remember if it was I think it was the Ballast Putrefy Grenades, because he gets D6 plus 1 shots, damage 2. Plus this bloat drone here, plus the Demon Prince shoots back into them. We managed to weaken this down to just the 2. I can't remember, I think it was just the 2 guys, or either 2 or 1 guys. We weakened them quite a bit. All the bottles here as well. Again, -1 save doing its work. Really happy with that. Then we make some charge. So these spawn come in to charge this thing here. This Rep-X is not on the point, which is very important. These Poxwalkers multi-charge into the JPIs, the Ballistus, and a couple of guys try and charge into the... I think there's like 1 guy on a wound of this Wardens of Ultramar squad after all the shooting. So we just try and want to finish him off. Then we have the Demon Prince charges into the Scouts, and Oliver heroics in with the JPI squad here, which I think on hindsight was a bit of a mistake on his end, and I think he agrees as well. But again, the logic was, I can't kill both squads. It saves his Scouts, or it saves his JPIs. One of them's going to live, because I haven't got the attacks to kill them both. He gets some impact mortal wounds as well, which can try and start chipping the guy down, which is obviously still good. Because again, you need to start working on these things early. And again, it just means that he still has some presence here, because I either have to kill the Scouts to kill them. If I kill the Scouts, these guys can potentially jump over and maybe try and steal objective or something like that. So, yeah, these guys come in. The Chaos Spawn down here do a really good job on the attacks and the wounds and the damage. And we only leave a single JPI here. And we do manage to get a guy to tow onto this objective. And basically, we try and hold him to a single objective. Unfortunately, we don't manage to get it because he keeps the guy that is not base to base my spawn. My spawn would then have to go and base to base the Rep-X and stuff like that. It's a load of nonsense, basically. I can only keep 1 spawn back on it, and then this guy piled in and took it off me. So it's fine, it's what it is. So unfortunately, couldn't take that objective. I had to wipe the entire unit. The Poxwalkers do end up finishing the Wardens of Ultramar, which is quite impressive. Well done, Poxes. And we end up tagging this Ballistus here, which is nice. So again, just forcing him to do things with these. The Impact Mortals do 2 mortal wounds. Wasn't really good. And then I feel no pain him. I took 1 damage. And then I, again, AP3 into Marines, clapped the entire squad of JPIs. So again, that's why he feels like he threw them away for free. Was a little bit. And again, we agreed on that afterwards. But again, the logic, I understand why he tried it. So actually a pretty good clap back on our first turn here. We killed an squad in Cursors, killed a squad of JPI, dropped another squad of JPI to 1 guy, and we killed the Wardens of Ultramar. So for our first turn, taking away those infantry units, just leaving the vehicles. And again, Morty's in a really good spot here. Can't get shot from this angle. Demon Prince is really deep in these lines now. Can't get shot from that angle. Having a good time. So really happy with that. When it comes to Oliver, he does score 5. Oh no, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't manage to get on it. Yeah, because we did manage to keep 1 spawn. So we do contest this bottom. So he gets 5 taken hold on his first turn. Yeah, if this Rep-X would have got a little bit more on the advance, it would have towed on. That did bite you in the bum a bit. So we do deny this primary down here. But then he gets on his... so I had recover assets and bring it down. Recover assets was done with this drone and this Taliban here. So I get a little bit. We threw away bring it down. I am not going to try and get into a gunfight with Oliver. Because he's just going to either go -1 to wound and AOC. In which case I am never killing a Ballistus Dreadnought with a minus... AOC plus cover plus -1 to be wounded. I am never killing that ever. So, didn't bother with it. Just threw it away. Got a CP because I think my time on failed me. So, happy days. Move on to the next turn. So, Oliver gets Cleanse and Behind Enemy Lines. Now, Cleanse is a bit of a lucky one for me because it means that he's obviously got to give up something to do actions, which is really nice. So, these Incursors actually end up stepping out into the middle to Cleanse. The load-up guide damage just Cleanse. This Rep-X goes down to here. This fella jumps back over to here. And this other Rep-X ends up, I think the Ballistus chills there. This Ballistus comes up. This comes to here. Yeah, because he basically just comes to shoot my absolute fucking shit out of my Rhino here. So it does do the little haywire mine on my Demon Prince. It goes off, I think it was 3 mortal wounds, but I managed to feel no pain 2 of them. Again, feel no pain just showing how good it is at being an absolute shithead. The Scouts fall back behind this wall over here. Considers bringing in Calgar, doesn't go for it in the end. He did pick up his Calidus. He gets the... no, he keeps the Calidus for now. No, Behind Enemy Lines. Yes, Behind Enemy Lines. He brings in the Calidus and his JPIs in the back line here. And yeah, Again, problems with this list, it just can't screen anything. But again, worst case scenario is to go for a 9-inch charge. If he gets behind, if he does get it, I lose home, which isn't ideal. But I do hold this one up here, so I'm still going to get at least 5 on primary. And given I put him on 5 on primary, it's like not the worst thing, because I'm going second. But again, I should have just like... But again, what am I supposed to do? I don't have the units to do anything with it. Like, I have very little units. I had to be sort of like aggy myself to come out here. I do rapid ingress the Blight Lords onto this side of the objective. So these guys are actually spread out like this because I needed to stop it happening. So even if he did get the... I put 5 guys on the back here and then spread out the rest of the 5. So even if he did make the charge with these guys and get onto it, it would be 5 OC versus 5 OC. It remains sticky and I do hold it. But it forces my hand with the Blight Lords back here, which I wasn't happy with. He then shoots the Rhino with all of his stuff. He pops the Rhino. The Plague Marines then just hop out safely on this side of the wall. It does take him way more than I thought it would. He just had some really... His rolls were just not great at this point. They won't really get much better. But he does end up killing the Rhino. The guys hop out behind the wall safely. Ready to sort of walk and move out. So, yeah, from here, he basically gets his behind enemy lines. Doesn't make any charges. It does shoot the guy to death, though. From the pistols, I just, just plasma pistols and the weird assassin pistol kills them, so they're dead, which is, fair enough is what it is. Means that at least I don't have to worry about the charge at least. And this bloat drone here, I think, ends up getting finished off by, I think it's this Ballistus here, just ends up finishing him off. The Rep-X and the Ballistus Dreadnought here kill this Rhino. But again, not bad, because again, in my turn now, I do hold this, get stickied. So we lose some of our Poxwalkers, we don't lose all of them, though. Because some of them get kicked. Oh, this spawn gets annihilated by this thing here. But again, Poxwalkers show this thing's just falling back so it can shoot, fall back and shoot. But they're alive. So I decided, right, okay, we're going to try and get aggressive now, because what I want to try and do is I want to put pressure on him on 2 fronts. Because again, the idea of this list is hold things with the things that are easier to kill, but not the big threat, and put the big threats into your opponent's face. So we have Morty move up to here, like this. Demon Prince move up to here. That's what that. So these two are going to multi-charge these scouts. I have the Plague Marines step out, the Poxwalkers move up. Plague Marines do trigger a reactive move here, the Incursors go back behind the wall, that's fine. We're going to try and kill a Dreadnought. I just want to try and kill a Dreadnought. And these Blight Lords also step up onto the point. Again, putting stuff on there, just coming out a bit. Both bloat drones float back down here. I think it's like that. They're just going to shoot this. The spawn take over this objective here. And we have, drew for our secondaries, we've got... Secure no one's land and storm hostile objective. So, super easy. Walk onto here where there's Incursed Walks, why we triggered the reactive move. We got, and secure no one's land we've got now. So, super happy. Just trying to do some damage now. Bloat drones fire down here. This one does manage to get within 12. Okay, thank you. Yes, you went like that. Yes, you went here to kill the drone. Thank you, Oliver. Thank you for a good memory. This guy gets into low up range of this assassin. He does fail in a 4-up, so we do manage to pick her up, which is very big actually, because that is not something I want hanging around with its +1 CPR of a Vect. It's not nice to have to deal with that. And the other one managed to shoot this squad down, doesn't kill the entire unit, but drops down to like 1 guy, I think it is. And again, we've still got a squad back here. I might have killed it all actually. I can't remember how bad luck it was on his saves, but it's not. It just ended up being really important that bit. We do manage to kill a Ballistus Dreadnought with all of our shooting over here. Poxwalkers obviously moved up as much as they could as well. Do manage to kill that Dreadnought. So we 1 Dreadnought down. We multi-charge here. What we do is manage to get enough of the charge to get Morty onto the other side of the scouts. And then we charge him with the Demon Prince. The reason we've done this is because the Demon Prince strikes, kills the squad of scouts first. And what this means is that Morty, because he's made a charge, he's still eligible to activate. Then he gets to pile into the Dreadnought, which was about 3 inches away. And then swing and manages to kill that as well. So we do manage to kill the Dreadnought and the scouts that were up at the top there. Oh, I did kill both. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so you just had really bad saves on those guys. So I did kill both of those down there. So, again, we're at a point now. We've got plenty of OC on this middle point. And Overwatch threats as well. So these Incursors can't really just step through and do something. We've now got a Demon Prince and Mortarion in his backlines. Which are going to be coming for his home objective next, so he's going to react to that. So basically, he's got these units and he needs to decide what he's going to react to. Is he going to try and clear the middle point and let him just like take his home, or is he going to try and react to the home objective being taken? So he does pop his Assault Doctrine, sorry, Dev Doctrine, where he can move and shoot and all that shit. Advance, so he moves up to there. This one comes up to, I think it comes to here to get some line of sight down. This Blister moves over to here. Calgar gets ready for the charge. These incursors line up. They don't have the mine anymore. They just line up to shoot him to get the +1 to hit. Intercessor step out as well. So we have 2 Rep X's and a Ballista Dreadnought here into my into Mortarion. So 2 Rep Oafed as well. So +1 to hit. +1 to wound. Reroll all hits against Mortarion. That's over here. Got a charge set up as well. 2 Rep X's and a Ballista Dreadnought, and he fires pretty much. He also, this Rep X ends up shooting all its little guns into these Plague Marines here as well. Big laser destroyer goes up, and basically what happens is he shoots absolutely everything. So he's hitting Morty on 2s, re-rolling. He's wounding him on 2s or 3s. I know all 2s. Sorry, 2s pretty much. The last kind is 3. Sorry, these things are on 2s. Oh, was it shooting by? So yeah, he was shooting at Plague Marines. I remember one of your Rep X's was shooting at Plague Marines because one of his Rep X's shot at Plague Marines, killed two Plague Marines. That's it. I don't know how. Only killed 2 Plague Marines or something like that. I think it was 2 or 3. Only killed my heavy Plague Weapons. That was it. And then all this shooting up here did, I think, 3 damage to Mortarium. It wasn't good. It really wasn't good. It was. Every big gun I bounced on a 4-up. Every single one got bounced on a 4-up. So all these lasers, all these laser destroyers here, all these las cannons, rockets, all got bounced on a 4-up. Every single one of them. It was horrendous. But there's still a fucking Demon Prince chilling on like 8 wounds as well. Calgar comes in with a charge to punch Mortarion. Does a bit more damage, drops Mortarion to 7 or 6 wounds, but doesn't kill him. And then Mortarion obviously gets to then. I even popped Fight on Death at this point. I popped Fight on Death. I was like, okay, if I die, I die. I get to at least swing back. Didn't go off. Managed to swing back, kill a bunch. He gets very good on his Blade Guard saves as well. It basically also like almost scam me on 4-ups. But do still kill a bunch of them, but this fight is ongoing, and obviously that means if it's ongoing, I'm going to Leech Spore, and I end up healing up 3 more wounds, so I go back up to like, I think I go from 8 down to 6, and then back up to 9 or something like that. So we heal up a bunch as well here, which again is obviously really good. Calgar still in combat. We walk up these Marines, these Blight Lords here, again just putting pressure on. We get a big turn, a hold 15 here. We shoot the living shit out of this Rep X. We drop it to 5 wounds from all of the shooting. Poxwalkers just moved up to try and be annoying things. This fight is ongoing. Like, again, we sucked the Blast Blade Guard to death. Unfortunately, we did shoot the Lantern at Calgar in the face. We did get the 6 to hit for the sustained D3. But we only got 1 extra shot, and then he passed both his invulns, because that would have killed him if he'd have failed a single one of his invulns, which means then, you know, Morty would have been 3 to come and charge Intercessors and whatnot. Demon Prince does come up, doesn't manage to charge into these Incursors over here. I think he just absolutely annihilates the entire squad of Incursors, which again is pretty good. This is the turn I got extend battle lines and behind enemy lines, so I've automatically got that with these 2 just existing. The ballista, the charge phase happens, so I can't charge him about that. We charge into the Rep X here with the Poxwalkers, and I have 10 attacks. I only have 5 of him. I have, yeah, you had to CP roll the Lantern save. I have 10 attacks from Poxwalkers into the Rep X. Only 5 of them I managed to get in. Out of the 10 attacks, I get 6 lethal hits. And then he fails the saves. And the Rep X dies to Poxwalker melee. So, as you can tell, Oliver was looking for the nearest rope at this point. He wasn't having a great time of it. Calgar swings first again into a wounded Morty. With the full, again, Oaths, +1 to wound, rerolls because he's twin linked. I pop Fight on Death because I think I'm on, like, again, 8 wounds or something like that. I still don't die. I haven't got -1 damage up or anything. I still just don't die. I just bounce his invulns again. And then he finally dies. I think he finally dies. He finally goes down, Mr. Calgar. So Calgar finally dies. Morty is quite low, though. He's on, like, 2 wounds at this point. So all of his last turn, he basically knows it's over. He's just very determined to kill Mortarion's point. No, Mortarion's still on, like, 8 wounds, sorry. It's like 7 or 6. This Rep X comes down. This Ballistus walks up to shoot him. Both of these shoot an Oath Morty again. Drop him to 2 wounds. But he's still alive. He charges him with the Ballistus. No, he don't even charge. You don't charge. You've just surrounded him with guys to try and shoot him to death. Doesn't die. So I've got a 2-wound Mortarion. I'm obviously holding pretty much everything else here. So Mortarion bounces the Laser Destroyer again. Literally again. So bounces all of this again, lives again. Then basically my turn, because I'm still alive, I charged into these two things here. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You did charge. You did charge Morty. Yeah, you charge Morty to try and finish off the last 2 wounds, and then you don't. He doesn't do any damage on the charge, so I'm still on 2 wounds. And I'm like, right, okay. I guess I'll just sweep the incursors and get rid of them. And then you were like, well, you might as well just bop the ballistas, because that's like these guys. These intercessors are not gonna hurt you at all. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a very fair point, because then next turn the intercessors I'm just gonna suck and heal off them, and then I just sweep attack and kill the rest out of them. So I was like, okay. Oh yeah, the last lot of heavy lasers. So, you know what? I lied, chat. I lied. I did not pass my 4-up invulnerables on the last set of laser destroyers from the Rep X, because I never had to roll them. Because he hit me on 2s, re-rolling, and he wounds me on 2s with no rerolls, and he double wand that wound roll, and he had no CP left. So, yeah, turns out you don't have to pass the 4-ups you never have to take. So, yeah, again, if he already wasn't looking for the nearest rope, he was definitely doing it now. So, I, convinced by Oliver, decided to just strike and try and get rid of the Ballistus Dreadnought, of which I do kill the Ballistus Dreadnought. I'm like, oh, cool, the Ballistus dies. He then rolls a 6 and explodes, and that's what kills Mortarion, because I failed my Female Pain. So then I auto-explode Mortarion and drop these guys for like 4 mortal wounds. So that's a little fraction of what's left. So, yeah, at this point, it's not looking great for our friend. He does get extend battle lines and engage in all fronts. So he does get baby engaged for 1 point. He does technically have extend because this is Kid. But not much else really happens here. I'm pretty sure Oliver just wants the game to end at this point, because I'm just holding through his time, because this is sticky and I'm holding these 2 here. My last 2 turns I get Display of Might and Sabotage. Doom Prince literally walks in here and sabotages. I've obviously got Display of Might from just existing at this point, just walking into the open. Then in his last turn he does end up getting Secure No Man's Land and Sabotage, which he technically still does. This guy can do both of them down here. He's got Secure No Man's Land, he's got Sabotage. And we obviously just then quickly talk through my last round, because I'm genuinely getting concerned for Oliver's mental health at this point in the game. Because he's not looking too hot there, Chief. Yeah, so I get Established Locus and engage in all fronts. So I obviously in every quarter, I think the Pox will just advance down this way just to get engaged that quarter. We just behind Locus. And yeah, we obviously held 15. So like again, that just brings us to the end here. Just don't mind the graphic, Oliver. Don't mind it. So yeah, 98-75 victory there. So Oliver explained best. He said it feels like playing against Necrons. Now, a lot of 4-ups happened in this game, but it wasn't just 4-ups. I will say that right now. Obviously, I was quite happy with how we played Mortarion Demon Prince and the way we took them from being like, again, my head as a defensive player really wanted to just hold back and play for turn 5. But I know against Oliver what would have happened is these guys, as soon as they came out, I would have started pushing up this way and then basically shooting into my entire deployment zone. So by instead counter-rotating with him, so as he came down here and I brought Morty up this way, it kind of kept our guns away from each other like this. And that meant I could then do exactly what he was wanting to do. But the problem was, the only things that could answer Morty were the things that he wanted to push with. That's why I made sure to try and kill the Incursors, the JPIs, because now the only things that can deal with Morty have to go backwards. If they keep pushing forwards into my deployment, I do the exact same with Morty, and I'm going second, so I'm literally gonna score the the thingy. I'm gonna score the whole 15 at the end, and I'll win from that. So basically, he's forced, because he's going first, to pull back. And when he pulls back to deal with Morty, the Demon Prince, that's when I can take the middle. He didn't attack from the wrong flank, because basically, if he'd have put the guys up here, I just rinse repeat the opposite end. Again, I just come down this way and start pressuring this way. This is a bit easier to react to, because you can just come to here and shoot into here, everything. But there wasn't really anything wrong with like that. It was a bit just the way you had to play it was like. Again, maybe just something like a bliss on the middle, but again, I don't really know. It was definitely the going first for him. He had to make a play because I'm going second and taking hold. But being able to rotate these really hard to kill models around and just put the rest of the things in the middle was all it really was. The biggest thing that we came to was that Oliver was just a bit too aggressive with his infantry. That was it. losing like 4 squads of infantry on turn 1 was just not good. Like, that was the main thing. That's why I went for it. The second it was in this bit here, I just went super aggy. So really, that's why I just tried to kill these guys off and get rid of his infantry, because then again, he doesn't have anything to deal with this, because again, if he still has his infantry, they could be dealing with the Plague Marines, while these tanks can then go deal with Mortarion, or they could be pushing into my deployment zone. Then I'm having to keep these guys back on this side of the wall to fight the JPIs and stuff off, which means I'm not allowed to take the middle. So it was just a little bit too aggressive with his infantry early on. Which again, the only reason I'm saying this is I never speak about my opponent's misplays normally, but me and Oliver are obviously good friends. We were talking about it afterwards. Yeah, it was very lucky for the Blight Launch drones to just kill the entire squad of Incursors. It's Blight Launch drones, man. The casino cannons, sometimes they do it. The Spawn to kill the JPIs as well. Oh yeah, this JPI got killed by the Blight Lords at some point as well. That was down here. But yeah, it was just bled a bit too many. Bled too many units too quickly a little bit, and then the rotational like of Mortarion deeper into his deployment zone, and then combined with the fact that when he went to deal with it, he bounced, which again is very Necron like, hence why we said this list plays like Necrons, because if you have a bounce turn against this list, it can snowball so hard. He bounced and he lost a Repex, he lost a Nova Ballistus, he basically then doesn't have the damage to kill Mortarion. So then he basically has to ignore Mortarion, which then goes and takes his home objective, or he uses the rest of his army, the entire army, to try and kill Mortarion, in which case you just take the middle and things like that then. It's death by 1,000 cuts, and then once you've whittled them down a little bit, one big turn of 4-ups or just surviving where you didn't think you were going to can just seal the deal really badly. So yeah. But yeah, that does bring us to the... No, say true. Bounce means like I make the invulns as well. Bounce means you went to kill something and didn't. And I didn't bounce the last Repulsor Executioner. Please remember you rolled double ones. Now that's on you, Chief. That one's on you. But yeah, we still had a laugh off it afterwards, and obviously after a bit of counselling, Oliver's back playing his Ultramarines again, and he's now put his Stormraven back in his list just for me because I hate that thing. But yeah, it does mean that we do manage to get the win of the event with this list, which is really cool. Again, this list is very different to how I normally play. If we just go quickly back to the start here, it is a very hyper elite list, as you can see. Which is a double-edged sword. Action secondaries can be really hard, but it also means that kill secondaries for your opponent are actually kind of hard to score, because there's a lot of chances for them to bounce. Sometimes there's just nothing for them to kill if you haven't exposed stuff. Morty can be an absolute beast. He can also fall over. I've seen it done, where you just fail the 4-ups at the wrong time, and like 2 laser destroyers just kills him instantly. It can happen. But is it a good list? Yes, evidently it's a good list. It can do well. It can win RTs. It can do really well at Super Majors. We've seen it going 4-1 at Super Majors, even 5-0 in certain GTs. But you do have to understand the playstyle a bit. And I do understand it a lot better now after playing this RTT with it and get it into my head. But I will say, is it for me personally? Not really. But will I still be playing it? I might do. Like I said, it's very interesting. It's very fun to play with. I had a lot of fun with Mortarion. The reactive move and the thinking about it and thinking about ways to play this without all the screens and all the tools that I usually have, having to be a bit more aggressive and Mortarion at the right time, was very nice and very refreshing. It has sort of got me a bit more excited to play Death Guard. I don't think this particularly does well into the top end meta armies of like Necron. I think Catan just do what you're trying to do here, but better. So I think that's probably a really bad matchup. So I don't expect this list to be winning many majors or GTs. I think it'll come runner up a lot of the time. I think it'll do really well and get you that 4-1 consistently if you get really good at it. But I do think you are a little disadvantaged. Like, again, I couldn't imagine this to Guard. Like, Guard must be a nightmare for this list. So many screens away, so many move blocks. You just don't have enough activations, enough ways to stop it taking your primary, things like that. But if you are interested in playing a hyper elite list of Death Guard with our Primarch, with a cool Demon Prince, with a big core of Plague Marines and a big core of Blight Lords, it's really fun. It's really fun. It's very different, and it'll really test your skill of like micromanaging and getting the most out of every activation and all your trading thoughts, because you don't have access to trading. You don't have throwaway units, so it's really, really fun, and I would recommend it to people that are interested in playing Death Guard a little bit more top heavy, Catan like. And I'm gonna do a full how to play Death Guard like Necrons video, because I think that's the closest similarity, as me and Oliver discovered it after the chat afterwards. It doesn't actually play like Custodians the most, it plays more like Necrons do, where it's just big, hard to kill models. If you bounce off them, you're really going to struggle afterwards. So, but yeah, that's going to bring us to the end of tonight's stream. So thank you again. Make sure you're out there. Go get a win for our boy Kirby over here on the screen. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in tonight. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Sorry, I know it's me a lot of talking, a lot of rambling. I don't always remember everything one-to-one. It helps to have people in the chat to remember the games and whatnot. Thank you, Oliver, for the assistance. But I'm just going to take a sweep. My mouth's getting dry now. But hopefully it shows you the rough idea, the rough planning list, and roughly how the game sort of played out, so you can get an idea of how to approach it. And again, it was fun for me to try something new as well. So I'll be going to another tournament. I think it's the start of next month. I think it's on the bank holiday. There's one I'm hoping to go to. So whether we take this or we take something different, probably something different. I love the freshness. Maybe we finally get a more Tyrants hammer list down and done. So you guys can let me know what you'd like to see. We'll get it done. Or maybe I take the Votan out again for another spin, because I was really enjoying Votan as well when I took them to the other RTT, which was really fun. So yeah. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this one. I will wrap up here and save the mercy of my voice. I'm going for long enough at this point. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, guys. Again, always leave a comment. Really helps. Leave a like as well. Helps the channel grow. I will be back on... Probably do Monday night for Plague Surgery, because I have to do a Vanguard Tactics lesson tomorrow. Sorry, guys. I double booked a lot of stuff and... I'm going to play catch up a bit. So we'll do Plague Surgery Monday. We'll obviously get normal stream Tuesday. I'm going to try and get a video up as well. It's probably tomorrow morning. I'll try and record and get it up and out for you. So yeah, keep your eyes on the channel. Sorry for the recent lack of content. Again, been a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to do a channel update video anyway, so you guys can know what's going on. I'll explain it all there. But yeah, thank you for tuning in tonight, everybody. Thank you. Hope you have a lovely, lovely morning, day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And thank you for tuning to another event recap. I'm Aiden. It's DRP. And yeah, until next time, take care. Stay rotten. I will see you all later. Bye-bye.
In the void, where the warp winds howl, a fleet once noble, now destined to fall. Grave wardens stir, betrayal takes shape, Typhon's whispers, sealing their fate. Navigators lost to the shadow lie, a fleet adrift beneath a darkened sky. The warp's cruel grasp, unyielding and tight, chaos awaits in the endless night. Whispers of power, a pestilent tide, Mortarian's pride, with nowhere to hide. The destroyer plague, a grim reward, Nurgle's laughter echoes aboard. Bound by decay, they rise in his name. The death god transformed, never the same. Plague-born sons with torment they bled, shambling forth where angels fear to tread. Mortarian stands, his sons by his side. Through agony storm, their oaths collide. Grandfather's hand, the pact is sealed. The legion reborn, their fate revealed. Lies in the armor, rot in the soul. A Primarch remade, his heart grown cold. In terror's shadow, their war drums beat. Pestilent warriors, no chance of retreat. Through breach and ruin, their banners fly. With death's embrace, they'll never die. The Lion's Gate